He got baptized by a streetcar. Alright guys, so we're back with another racing video. This time we're at Pacemaker's Dragway Park, where I grew up watching my dad race for so many years. It felt good to be back. I was excited to get the Nova out and run it now that we've got it going straight again, and I feel like we're really making progress. I asked Tony if I could drive the white car because he was out of town and they put like $500 on top of the stick shift class, so I wanted to support that class, and I'd like to see that class grow. There was 9 cars in stick shift, and I believe there was 35 in small tire. Pretty good turnout, especially for an event that wasn't promoted for very long. There was a lot of people. It felt like the old days back at Pacemakers, and the track looked really good. They put all new LED lights in and made a bunch of improvements since I'd been there last. They got a nice timing system. It was good to be back. First round, we drew Caleb Miller's second pair down the track. Kind of like what Billy said, track was freshly scraped and freshly washed. There wasn't a lot there to get a hold of. Since we had just fixed all these boost leaks on the car, like I said in the last video, it's making tons more power now, and I was starting to get the hang of it the last few weekends. I've been tuning the car for 4 or 5 weekends now, starting to figure out how much boost does what. We fixed all the boost leaks, and now it's kind of like I was starting back at square one, trying to figure out just how much faster this thing is now. I was a little bit lost as far as what the car was going to do, especially second pair down. But I put a tune-up in it that I thought was going to go about a 560. For reference, Billy third pair down won a 550, so had I gone a 60, I'd have been right there. That's what I was shooting for, but that's not what it tried to go. It was really, really hot, and it didn't help. I got absolutely treed. I just fell asleep at the light. I don't know what happened. I wasn't expecting that tree for whatever reason. It's a little long, and it's good because nobody can really guess it. But I sat there a while, and I just missed the tree. I felt it spin pretty much right off the line. I felt it was hazing. And so I was like 75% throttle, and it kind of was hanging there for a second, and then I started reeling them in. I wasn't even full throttle yet, but most of the pass I was like 75% throttle. But I was reeling them in, and I was like kind of looking at the finish line, seeing how much space I had left, because I was trying to time it up. I knew if I got back in it all the way too early, I might spin, but if I wait too long, I might run out of real estate. And that's kind of what happened. I tried my best, but I just couldn't get around them. I was really, really close. Just in the last 100 feet, I got back in it all the way. I damn near drove around them, but there just wasn't enough stripe. The car just makes a lot more power now, and I'm gonna have to relearn it a little bit, but we'll get there. There was a good thing for me. There was a buyback race, so I went ahead and bought back in to the second chance race. I put a fairly conservative tune-up in it, but I was third pair, so felt like I needed to be a little conservative, especially with, they scraped it to 100 feet, and then they washed the rest of the track. Like, they washed all the glue off of it and broomed it off. So it was really, first round was really slick. The car left, felt pretty good. It went out there about 100 feet, hit the first bump, and it gained some wheel speed, so I short shifted it, leaned off the throttle, about 50% throttle, and I was just kind of foot feeding it all the way down the track. As I felt like I had more traction, I'd give it more throttle, and I felt like I had less traction, I'd give it less throttle. The car ended up going pretty fast for third pair. I felt like I was probably the fastest pass that I saw first round, especially early. So I was pretty happy about that. It's nice to make some suspension changes and know that your car can still go down first pair, second pair, third pair like that, and do it with ease.
clutch disc to absorb some of that heat out of the flywheel and cool it off.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and let you stage. I'm gonna hold on to this fucking thing, okay? Try and get in there as shallow as you can.
First round of stick shift, I got paired up with a C6 Corvette. Now I haven't driven the white car at this point since he's put the TKX in it. The transmission was a little different to me. I know Tony had raced it last at KD. He missed second gear once, I think, and then hit it the next time, and then I think Tess drove it, and she was able to get it in second, but for some reason I just could not find second gear in this thing. I don't know if the clutch has settled a little bit and it's gotten a little closer to the floor and just will not allow me to go into second as quickly as I need to. But nevertheless, the car left good. It 60 footed pretty solid, it seemed like, and then I missed second. I clutched it again, got it to go in second, and still was able to win the race. The C6 spun pretty bad off the line, and that was that. Second round of small tire, I got paired up with a Black Falcon. I put a even faster tune-up in it for second round. I felt like since I was third pair first round that it could take a little bit more after 35 cars go down, plus the other classes. So I put a little bit more in it, and it took every bit of it. And it felt like it was on the edge, but I knew there was more passes to be put down the track, and I felt like the track was going to get better and better and better every round. So it made a really good pass. I think it was actually my personal best pass at Pacemakers second round. You know, we won that race pretty easily. I think he's having some issues building boost on the line, didn't leave on full boost or something, but you know, that's just part of learning your new combination. And hopefully he gets it figured out here soon, because that car is going to be really fast.
That was a really good pass. I think that's my fastest pass I've ever made here.
Oh my gosh.
Went 5:15 at 142.
Oh my.
And I felt like it was on the edge, but I think the 60 might be able to take a little bit more. Went straight.
Good.
On the next round.
That's what I like.
Transmission.
You hate the transmission?
It will not go to second.
Will not go to second.
I mean, it just locks it out. Like it needs a faceplated transmission for sure.
Well, he needs to make that happen before August then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Or else he's coming all the way out here for nothing.
I've even seen him miss second before, and he doesn't miss gears.
Right.
It's just really, really finicky.
I pretty much left the tune-up alone, considering I thought the track by now would be a 20s track, a 520 surface. And I think I turned it up a little bit through the middle, and I definitely put I'm pretty sure I put 1.5 pounds in the 60 and turned up the launch RPM. We made a decent straight pass. It wasn't as fast as I would have liked to have gone, considering I was knowing what Billy was going. So I knew I was a little behind still. The car went straight and it was an okay pass, but I knew I needed to go ahead and turn it up more.
That was a hell of a race. That was a good ass race, bro. Woo! So close.
Well, just went a personal best again at pacemakers. Went exactly what I wanted it to go. Just keep putting more in it. Honestly, didn't expect you to be right there.
Really? Oh, dude, it was so fucking close.
Because Eric said you struggled to pass before or something like that. I'm like, okay.
A fucking drag race.
Oh my goodness.
Gosh. I split the weld on the intake just a little bit, so it might have dropped a little bit of boost. But hey, at the end, I was like,
You split the welds on your intake?
yeah.
Fast and Furious
Split the
style.
welds on the intake.
You literally did it.
Because I went out and started idling high, I'm like,
Yeah. Vacuum leak.
yeah, vacuum leak. I've seen that before. Hell yeah, dude, that was badass. Man, that was fun.
What happens when you put a billion pounds of boost on it?
There wasn't. There was a
A
lot.
billion?
I had to.
Yeah,
But
we had to turn it up.
It was just like.
That was closer than I thought. I didn't want to look over, but I could see it.
Yeah. It drove over a little bit. I was on the scramble and started like chuck the tire a little bit. I'm like, I can't let out. It's right here. We're right here. And it was just like, dude.
I
the
thought
last
about
second,
grabbing
like,
mine if I started seeing you like move.
Yeah, dude, the
So,
last
like,
second.
what was it at the finish? Like a bumper or?
Had to have been a foot
Inches?
or less.
Couldn't
Yeah.
have been more than a foot or two, if that. I mean, it was so
The
close.
GoPro looks like a fender-ish.
Yeah.
Ish.
And I worry because my nose is so fucking high on that thing. I worry
Yeah.
that it's gonna trip it with a tire all the time. Might have to do something about that.
Man, it was so. That's another close race for us. That one's closer than the one at KD
I think so.
by a lot.
Well, I'm gonna assume you guys went quite a bit faster.
Oh, yeah.
KD.
Yeah, by over half a second.
I-
My fastest pass here too. I think last year I went
Against horsepower.
I don't know. We went pretty fast against Hong, but I don't remember what we. I don't think it was that fast.
Bob's gonna put the tune up in for me tonight.
Are you, Bob? Look at him. He's ready.
Let off the button. I think we beat him on the tree by just a little bit. Beat him to the 60-foot cone. I was like, wow, this is nice. This is a great pass. It's pretty fast. And then I just get driven around at about 200 feet, 300 feet, like I was sitting still. And I was very confused. I tried to put a ramp in it that would go a low teen, mid-teen, and I just didn't put enough in it, honestly. Again, it's just part of not knowing how much boost will do what. Being in the middle of the track, I didn't want to grab the scramble, and he had flown around me so fast, like, I was like, oh, I've lost. I absolutely just lost. There's nothing I could do, but yeah, it just drove left a little bit at half track. I'd seen a lot of cars kind of doing it, so it doesn't worry me too bad. But you know, there's a bump in the right lane that's just horrendous at like the 60-foot cone, and sometimes it kind of shoots you to the left a little bit. But yeah, it solely just came down to I just did not put enough in the car because I just didn't know how much I thought what I put in the car would go faster, and it didn't. That's just part of learning it, and it's part of me growing as a tuner. It sucks because we all know that car is a winning car. We're probably gonna see it lose quite a few more times just because I'm tuning now, and you know, it sucks to say. But you know, it's the direction that we've been needing to head towards. Billy really needs to focus on his own stuff, and I need to start relying on myself a little more on the tuning side. And you know, I'm gonna lose races. It is what it is. It's not the car's fault. It's just because I'm trying to learn how to tune now, and I'll get there at some point, but it is what it is. It kind of sucks, but I would much rather lose because it's my fault than have Billy tuning the car and I lose because he didn't put enough in it. Like, then it's just like, what the hell, I would rather lose because it's my fault. So we live to race another day. It is what it is. I'm just gonna have to keep learning the car and learning how much boost goes how fast. And I'm sure we'll get to a point where I don't suck as bad.
Beside me, and man, he came up hard on me, and then I don't know if he had to get out of it or what, but it was close.
It came up on you super hard to 330 feet, and it got loose and you had to lift.
Dude, he had probably 10 mile an hour on me.
Yeah. But you made it all the way.
Yeah. Like, I grabbed the button and it didn't do much. I was like, oh, I didn't have enough in the scramble. I only had 2 in the scramble.
Dude, it was riding at 330 feet. You got to 330 before he did. But once he got to 330, it's like he just pulled right up on you, but he got loose.
He came up on me, and we were nose to nose, and he disappeared right at the mile an hour
He zinged the tire out there, and he had to lift.
I don't know if he's got a nitrous button on that thing or what, but he was rolling.
Yeah, he's got a 911 button.
He used it.
About a half a car. I was at the door. Hey, you had to hear me.
Oh yeah, I seen you. You rolled up on me with 10 mile an hour. I was like, oh fuck. I grabbed my button. I was like, yeah, that's not enough.
Dude,
and
it
then you
shook.
just like,
I mean, as soon as it left, I turned the hit down and I was trying to slow everything down. I hadn't got an A to B pass all day. So I turned everything down like really bad. Took 3 degrees out of the big end.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's gonna go down. I thought it was. And then it fucking got out there and started tire shaking. And then you started coming around like, oh my God. I was like, come on. I drove right through it. I was not lifting.
My God.
I ran through it, and as soon as it fucking started grabbing, I'm like, oh, I was catching like no tomorrow.
dude, you was coming hard.
And then as soon as I pedaled, I'm like, fuck.
Like, you could heard a
What
penny
a
drop. When it
fucking
got
race,
to the
dude.
end,
That was fucking
everybody
badass.
was
I do
super
not care to
quiet.
lose like that. That was a fucking drag race.
Good race, man.
Yeah,
Now I'm gonna put like 5 more pounds in my car, since obviously it'll take some more.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's coming around.
It's coming around. Yeah, like I
up
said,
top,
it's shook.
Usually up top here, it's kind of sketchy, but I don't know. If you're shaking, that's different. It's just spinning. It's just.
I was
good.
so afraid that usually when that thing tire shakes that early, it's gonna go into tire spin, usually. And it didn't. I was like, come on, bitch, drive through it. And it fucking did, and it was momentum. And as soon as it grabbed, I was catching you like no tomorrow.
Shook on a Mickey.
Dude, it did. Well,
it was underpowered.
it was underpowered.
It was underpowered.
I took too much out of it. You know what I mean? It was my fault, but I hadn't been A to B. You know what I mean? It was just like an animal out through there. But when it got out through there, and dude, I didn't have to pedal it. And as soon as about the big end, probably about 1,000. Well, whatever, 500 feet.
Yeah.
I had to pedal it, and then because it got kind of a little bit, man, I don't know if you see me, I was real close to your door.
Dude, I don't know how you lifted. I couldn't.
If I wouldn't have lifted, it'd have been a much closer race, but you got me by about a half car, is what it was. I was right at your door. Hey, dude, that was best drag race, and I do not care to lose like that at all.
Good driving, man.
I said you could have heard a penny drop right there at the end. Like everybody was just like waiting for the
I'm
light
sure
to
everybody
come
wanted
on.
to see that one. That was a good one. That was a fucking good one.
That was good. That was a good
Awesome race, dude.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, good luck, man. Go win this.
Track went away. He barely beat me, and I went like a half second slower.
Dang it.
Just went away. I didn't change the 60. He barely beat me. I went a fucking 55.
Oh. Damn, buddy. I'm sorry.
I turned it up even more. Not in the 60, but out the back. The track was continuing to get worse and worse. I really should have walked the track before the next round, but they were getting close to curfew and I felt like there was a rush to get the race in. So I just put the car in the lanes, checked the tires, and went up for the next round. I really should have walked the track because some of the bald spots in the right lane were just getting worse and worse. A lot of people were struggling off the line. My car didn't struggle off the line against Phil, but that's not to say the track didn't get worse. And there was less and less cars going down the track every round. So we got paired with Justin Perkins. He was behind at 60 feet. I treated him pretty good, but my car lost the tire about 10, 20 feet out, and then it continued to gain wheel speed the rest of the run. I had to pedal it a few times, got back in it, was kind of in the center of the track, out of the groove, and just a really bad pass. I actually lost half a second on that run compared to my previous run, and 15 mile an hour. So for the circumstances, I wasn't too far behind, and I think if I could have just made a similar pass as I did the last round against Phil, I would have won that race and probably won the whole race. But part of racing, and you got to be on your game every single round, and the fastest car doesn't always win. I felt like I had the fastest car that night. I felt like I was making some of the fastest passes. There was a lot of guys that were pretty close together, but I really feel like I had the car to beat in that final three. You know, Brian Horsky, his car was really fast, but you know, him and Justin, I think I would have had a little bit more mile an hour on them, and I think my 60 foot, if I could have just done the similar 60 that I had been doing all night, I really don't think they could have beat me. But you know, that's, like I said, it's part of racing, and it's no prep, and anything can happen. You got to be on your game with your tune-ups every single round, and they beat me. You know, Justin beat me fair and square, and it's part of it, man. You know, we'll get to do it again, I'm sure. This ain't the end of the season. We're far from it, and there's a lot of racing left. I'm happy that I was able to go out to pacemakers and get to the 5th round. Didn't end the way I wanted it to. I was pretty upset with myself. I was pretty upset that I didn't go walk the track and I didn't catch the track going away. You know, losing only makes you better. And we always are learning every time we go out, no matter what. And I feel like we've made strides with this car in the last week or so, taking it to 10 soldiers, getting the anti-roll bar put in, and we're learning what the car likes. We're finally making some forward progress on this thing, and I feel like it's going to be in many final round appearances for the rest of the year. And I hope that I can seal the deal on some of these. You know, I want to win for you guys. I feel a lot of pressure sometimes, knowing that a lot of you guys are rooting for me, and you know, that's fine. You know, that's not an abnormal thing to feel pressure, I guess, but I just really want to win for y'all, and for the people that, you know, support me in the comments, and for all the people that talk back to all the haters for me. You know, I want to win for you guys, and I think that's coming soon. I really do. So thank you guys. I appreciate you for supporting, and even the haters, thank you for watching, and I appreciate you too.